objection.
Okay. As to the author of the amendment, no one should ever question his motivation, his patriotism. He has been a firm believer that we should be out of Iraq as soon as possible. Senator Feingold believes that our continued presence in Iraq is creating more terrorism than in terms of solving the problem, is creating the problem in a larger sense. I personally disagree. The reason al-Qaeda went to Iraq is not because we're in Iraq. They went to Iraq because what the Iraqi people are trying to do. We're all over the world. They haven't followed us to every country we've been in. They've decided to make Iraq a central battlefront in their war against moderation because they fear a successful outcome among the Iraqis. The biggest fear of an al-Qaeda member is that a group of Muslims will get together and be tolerant of each other's differences when it comes to religion and elevate the role of a woman so she can have a say about her children. That's what al-Qaeda, that's why al-Qaeda is in Iraq. And the military surge has produced results beyond my expectation. The old strategy clearly was going nowhere. After about my third visit to Iraq after the fall of Baghdad, I had lost faith in the old strategy and those who were proposing that it was working. This new general has come up with a new idea. This is not more of the same with more people. You're getting out behind walls. You're getting out into the community. We're living with the Iraqi Army and police force. Very good gains in terms of operational capabilities of the Iraqi Army. The police are, we're really going to have to really start all over with the police. But the surge has allowed a real diminishment of the al-Qaeda footprint in Anbar province. And anytime Sunni Arabs turn on al-Qaeda anywhere in the world, that's good news. So the surge has provided us a level of security not known before. It's been al-Qaeda's worst nightmare. There's still a long way to go, and Senator Feingold's amendment would basically bring the surge to a halt. It would withdraw troops in a very rapid pace, would be out of Iraq by June of next year. And my big fear is, instead of reinforcing reconciliation, it would freeze every effort to reconcile, and people would start making political decisions based on what happens to their country when there is no security. The American mistake of the ages was letting Iraq get out of control, not having enough troops. We paid heavily for that mistake. Now we've got it turned around. Militarily, politically, they are not where they need to be in terms of the Iraqis. But the best way, I believe, to get political reconciliation to happen in Baghdad is to make sure that those who are trying to reconcile their country, families, are not killed. So the better security you can provide, the more likely the reconciliation. And one thing is for sure, more troops has helped embolden the Iraqi people in terms of extremists. They're taking on extremists after the surge better than they've ever done before the surge. And I think this confidence given to the Iraqi people by a surge of military support has paid dividends. We need political, economic, and military support to continue, not just because of Iraq, but because of our own national interest. If I thought it was just about who ran Iraq, I'd be willing to leave. It's not about who controls Iraq. It's about whether or not this stable, we can create a stable functioning government in Iraq that would contain Iran and deny al-Qaeda a safe haven. If it was just about sectarian differences and a power struggle for Iraq, it would be a totally different dynamic. To me, Iran is ready to fill a vacuum. If we have a failed state, Mr. President, that is a military, political, and economic problem far worse than the ones that we're dealing with now. A failed state is a state that breaks apart, people stop trying to work with each other, and regional players come in and take sides. A dysfunctional government is what we have in Iraq, probably what we have here. A dysfunctional government has hope of getting better because people are keep trying. So the way to have a government to go from a dysfunctional status to a secure, stable status, I think, is to provide security. I want this dysfunctional government to act sooner rather than later, just like you do. The best way, I think, to make that happen is to ensure that the politicians involved understand that we have a commitment to their cause that will embolden them, and the Feingold Amendment, no matter how well-intentioned, will re-energize an enemy on the mat and make it harder to reconcile Iraq. And that's why I urge a no vote. I yield back.